Sandigan Bayan acquits Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Juan Ponce Enrile of his remaining graft charges in the alleged diversion of 172.8 million pesos in public funds linked to the pork barrel scam. The Anti-Graft Court's Special Third Division also clears Enrile's former Chief of Staff, Gigi Reyes, and the businesswoman at the center of the controversy, Janet Lim Napoles. They were cleared of 15 graft counts during the case's promulgation on Friday, October 24. The Sandigan Bayan concludes that the prosecution failed to prove their guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The charges stem from the Priority Development Assistance Fund scandal that surfaced in 2013 after the Inquirer exposed the misuse of lawmakers' discretionary funds for ghost projects. Under the scheme, PDAF allocations were funneled into a network of bogus non-governmental organizations run by Napoles. Enrile, Reyes, and Napoles were indicted in 2014 for plunder, accused of pocketing 172.8 million pesos in kickbacks from Enrile's PDAF from 2004 to 2010. Napoles was separately convicted of plunder in 2018 in connection with former Senator Bong Revilla's pork barrel funds. On October 4, 2024, the Sandigan Bayan acquitted Enrile of plunder, ruling that the prosecution failed to prove he received at least 15 million pesos in kickbacks, which is a threshold for plunder. Aside from Enrile, Revilla and Senator Jinggoy Estrada were also charged with plunder over the PDAF scam but were later acquitted. The International Criminal Court's pre-trial chamber affirms its jurisdiction over the case against former President Rodrigo Duterte. This decision could finally pave the way for a full-blown trial for murder as a crime against humanity during his administration's war on drugs. In a decision dated October 23, pre-trial chamber 1 rejects the Duterte's camp argument that the court doesn't have jurisdiction over the case because it had opened its investigation only in September 2021. The defense argued that the ICC can't exercise jurisdiction over the case after the Philippines' withdrawal from the Rome Statute became fully effective in 2019. The judges ruled that Article 127 of the Rome Statute must be read in a way that balances the right of a state to withdraw from the statute and the risk of a state using its right to withdraw to shield persons from the jurisdiction of the court. In 2023, the Duterte camp argued that Article 127 should not be interpreted to extend the Office of the Prosecutor's power to request an investigation even after a state had withdrawn from the statute. They made this last-minute argument in their 2023 appeal to stop then-ICC prosecutor Karim Khan's investigation into Duterte's war on drugs, which saw between 12,000 to 30,000 dead. The appeals chamber later rejected the appeal to stop Khan's investigation in a narrow 3-2 vote but left this jurisdictional issue unresolved. This time, however, the pre-trial chamber judges ruled that the case was already under its consideration even before the Philippines' formal withdrawal. The chamber rejects their defense that the preliminary examination initiated by former ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda in 2018 and their 2021 decision to authorize an investigation were different matters. Duterte is facing 3 counts of murder over 49 killings. He is currently detained in The Hague, Netherlands, though his camp has argued that he was unfit to stand for trial. Before this decision, the pre-trial chamber ruled on September 24 that they would have Duterte examined by a panel of medical experts to determine whether or not he can exercise his right to a fair trial. Fuel prices are expected to rise in the last week of October, with diesel prices seen to increase by as much as 1 peso and 40 centavos a liter. In a statement on Friday, October 24, Jetty Petroleum President Leo Billas says upward adjustments in diesel prices are estimated to be in the range of 1 peso and 20 centavos to 1 peso and 40 centavos per liter. Gasoline prices may also increase by 60 centavos to 80 centavos per liter. The Department of Energy is also projecting upward adjustments in pump prices. The DOE estimates price increases of about 80 centavos per liter of diesel and kerosene. The DOE says gasoline prices might rise by 30 centavos per liter. According to Bellas, oil prices are higher this week due to concerns that the fresh U.S. sanctions on Russian companies could lead to tighter physical flows of Russian oil. He adds that this follows sanctions imposed by Britain last week. He says this could force buyers of Russian oil to reroute volumes to other sources, causing major disruptions in supply flows.